And now it's time once more for everyone on this side of the microphone to hold our breath as we're reminded that even the best can make a mess. Yes, it's the return of Can I Take That Again? And to introduce the new series, here's... Good heavens, I don't believe it. Can I take that again?
This is Jack DeManio, welcoming you to another series of Can I Do It Again? Can I Take That Again? A glimpse of things when... A glimpse of those moments when things don't quite go as smoothly as they normally do on radio. It was devised and presented by Jonathan Hewat.
Hello, and as Jack just said, here's another cluster of clangers from the wonderful world of radio. Mostly live, but now and then from pre-recorded shows, too.
Now, this one is for you, Sarah.
Promise me you won't edit that.
Well, for those listeners who are listening at home, I'd just like to tell you, Sarah Kennedy was supposed to be on the show tonight, but unfortunately she's been taken ill and John Junkin has stood in, but I haven't crossed it out of my script.
And the next question, please.
In which state of the United States was President Kennedy assassinated in Texas?
Gosh, that's a tough one.
And the next question, what does ephemeral... Colin? What does ephemeral... Ephemeral. Yeah. What does ephemeral mean? Ephemeral. Okay, Britain Ferry, have a go.
Queer.
Well, that's the end of the quick fire round and the end of the competition as a whole, so let's wait for Kate to give us the answer. I beg your pardon, I'll start that again, that's ridiculous. You know that's... You're not answering any of the questions, are you?
Next object is a pair of slippers. A pair of slippers.
Do you wear it above or below the waist?
Below.
Is it mainly worn by men?
If you take exactly what is on the card, the connotation it would have for most people is male.
Does it hold something up?
No. Male, remember. Males usually hold their own things up.
That's the trouble with the wireless. You come in, you switch on, you can't make out what they're talking about. Not at first, anyway.
I don't much like doing it. Isn't it funny? Loads of people, a lot of people really loves doing it, don't they? I don't. I loves it up. I loves it when it's up, but I don't like doing it.
Do you?
No, I ain't got no... I ain't got no artistic flair.
No, I can see that.
I can appreciate things, but I ain't got no artistic flair.
You don't like doing it?
No, I don't like doing it.
No.
No, don't like... In fact, because I don't like doing it, I don't do it.
Oh, Darren been doing it all a week.
We haven't, have we?
He says it's no good putting them out the night before because if you do that, he only gets the decorations for about a week. You might as well put them out at the beginning of December and get on with it, he said. Whoa, what happened?
Well, whatever it was, it got us out of that hole.
I grew up in Florida, and it really, when you do see snow for the first time or when you rarely see it, you go a little bonkers.
But most of us just make your regular snowman with 3 balls, don't you agree?
At least you wouldn't call him a snow person. Anyway.
Lounge, kitchen, bathroom.
2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms?
Yes.
And you enjoy it?
Rather.
You wouldn't be anywhere else now.
No.
OK, 27.5 minutes to 11 o'clock's the time, and this is the Pat Nash Orchestra. Yes, it's one of those days today, you see. Now, what's happened, and I know old Wogan says I always blame it on everybody else, but the fact of the matter, it's nothing to do with me. The tape there, you see, was going on at the wrong speed. And I must tell you that my technical operator next door, very, very talented young man, he's rushing about there like a demented thing, changing gear. And I have every hope now that when I press this switch in here, it'll come up and it'll all sound like this.
I think I preferred it first time round.
Now an update on Apache. You remember Apache, don't you? Well, this is how it sounds. Well, it doesn't, actually. Oh, curses. I nearly said something a great deal worse.
Well, it's what you'd expect from Radio 1. They're not as cool and calm and cultured as the Radio 2 mob.
The title was, Have You Got a Biro I Can Borrow?
Have you got a biro I can borrow? I'd delight to write your name on the palm of my hand, on the walls of the hall, the roof of the house right across the land. So...
Well, you can guess what happened, can't you? A swift jog of the elbow, a quick fly of the stylus across the grooves, and a landing in an unfortunate point.
Maybe we should take our leave of DJs for a bit.
OK, that's just a touch of Siona dancing to finish off. I'll be here on Sunday afternoon. Oh, it's not going to work. My closer is not going to work. What a shame. It's going to be so dynamic and everything. Hang on. No, it's not going to work. I'll be here on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock.
Well, it's 8 o'clock, and we're not quite ready for the news for the time being, so I hope you'll not go too far away from your radio while we try and tell you about something else. As I was saying, later on in the programme, in fact, we'll be asking you to think about the problems of the space invaders on our children. Now it's 8:30.
Headlines this morning. 1,500 men at BL's plant in Solihull have just started a mass meeting in their protest at production targets set by management to discuss further industrial action. Production of Rover saloons is at a standstill.
Unlike her a few seconds ago.
News just in. Workers at the CAV car components factory at Sudbury in Suffolk have been meeting this morning to consider a call for the dismissal of Mr. James Goad. We're going over now to Michael Cole at the factory.
The mass meeting voted overwhelmingly a few minutes ago that Mr. Goad should be dismissed from the factory. Mr. Dutton told the workers that their jobs could be in jeopardy if Mr. Goad was allowed to continue at the factory.
Michael Cole.
The time right now, 4:04. Let's get straight into the programme and find out what's been happening whilst I've been getting the programme ready. At the moment, I'm trying to find a piece of paper. And here we are, we've got it. No, we haven't, just stand by. And it's still 2:04. I shall be with you in 1 second, because at the moment the stories that are coming in thick and fast haven't quite arrived here.
We have coming into the studio any minute now some tape on the statement that Alexander Solzhenitsyn has read on his arrival in Frankfurt. And the statement, I'm absolutely sorry, I've been totally misled. Let me see now. What is the statement?
Next news at 8:30, I'm sorry. No.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, I beg your pardon.
Thank you very much, Jill.
Good night from Night Final with Graham Freer, Tony Duggan, and Sir Stephanie Norris. I beg your pardon.
That's okay. Lapses of memory aren't entirely unknown on the airwaves.
And now for a look at tonight's City news. Here's... No, I'm sorry, it's not.
How's the Melbourne race going, Warren?
Well, I think we're set to go, but my name's not Warren. Here's Bert Bryant.
Tomorrow, Conservative Cabinet Minister, the Right Honourable Norman Fowler, will be with me at 9:05.
Well, welcome back. I'm Carol Thatcher, standing in this morning for Clive James, and my guest is Australian writer Clive James. I'm sorry, I think I got that wrong.
I like it the way you said
right.
it.
Paul, sorry, I'll get your name right in a minute. Clive, would you rather be a critic or a novelist?
I'd rather be called Paul. Let's call me Paul for the next 3 minutes.
No, we'll call you Clive.
Doesn't seem to matter these days.
British actress Vanessa Redgrave.
Do me a favour.
British actress Vanessa Redgrave.
Sir Alec Douglas Hume.
Princess Charles, for example.
Princess Charles was resting at home.
Chancellor Helmut Schmidt.
Richard Attenborough, why, in fact, are you going?
Could we start that again, do you think, with David?
He's so hard to satisfy.
In Brussels, the meeting of the Common Market Ministers was delayed for 2 months because of the French presidential election.
President Ronald Reagan is alive and well and kicking tonight, just 2.5 months into his pregnancy.
It's all the fault of that man Scargill.
We've seen the introduction of a paramilitary state in a way that most observers thought could only happen, say, in Poland or some other South American country.
Like Germany or France. But you can surely rely on overseas correspondents to know exactly where they are.
Patricia Hearst's story by Patricia Hearst. It's not over yet. Pat O'Brien, Channel 2 News.
Where am I?
Where are we, seriously?
Pleasantville. Pleasantville?
No.
No, not.
What's the name of this place?
John Simpson, BBC, wherever the hell I am.
At least he knew who he was.
And today's producer was Howard Rogers, the editors Ellie Updale and Gordon, and Tony. Well, this is Gordon Clough.
Janet Cohen. And that's all from PM until 5 PM on Monday.
And sometimes getting it roughly right's more than enough.
My name's William Hardcastle. It's the BBC World at 1 program.
William what?
Hardcastle.
Hart Campbell.
Castle. Hardcastle.
Campbell.
That's it.
Well, nearly. But then it's attention to detail that makes good radio what it is, provided the question is kept clear and concise.
John, can I take up with you an aspect of your work which has to do with your preoccupation with detail and has also to do with your character's detailed responses to experience? What I have in mind here is that you often in your writing depict people engaged in trivial activities and who are living lives of the most crashing boredom, and you are frighteningly good at depicting this quotidian, cliched, repetitive activity which fascinates you because of its daily futility, the way in which people fritter away the precious days in formal, useless activities of this kind. I noticed, for example, the vividness, and it seems paradoxical to say vividness, but it is vividness, of your depiction of the boredom of the guests in the boarding house, for example, in Strand Hill at Sea. You know, the short story about Strand Hill.
Yes.
You're achieving the thing that Coleridge was after. You know, when he said, wasn't it Coleridge who said that if you wanted to depict a bore, you must never be boring? You seem to me to have a remarkable capacity for depicting bores and the boredom of existence without ever, in fact, boring. You are fascinated by cliché in speech and by cliché in behavior.
Well, sure, but, you know, either everything is important or nothing is important.
Yes.
What more can you say? So, from me...
And from the British Broadcasting... From the British Broadcasting Corporation...
Goodbye.
Forgive me for asking, but is something not right?
And the Rubettes is where we've got to say goodbye for tonight. Time for me to disappear in just a few moments. I'll be back at the same time tomorrow. Hope you can join me then for Home Choice. Meantime, coming up after the time signal for 6 o'clock, Gordon Kitchen will be here with tonight's front page. And for me, bye-bye for now. I knew it was going to be one of those nights. Well, the signature tune's run out, so I shall sort of, I'll tell you what, I'll grab for a piece of music over here, and we'll instantly have another little piece of music just to take us up to the end of the programme. How about that? One of these, yes. Bye-bye.
That was Can I Take That Again? Presented by Graham Frost and produced by Jonathan Hewat. Presented by Jonathan Hewat and produced by Graham Frost. Is that it?